Count on LEX News.
Good afternoon, I'm Evelyn Schultz. A funding boost could be on the way for Laurel County. What federal support for airport renovations and storm recovery projects is coming. Plus, new school year, new laws. Drivers need to be aware of some changes for school buses. We'll show you what you need to do when you see them on the road. And Kentucky State University is facing a complaint alleging the school misrepresented one of their programs, how students could be impacted. This is LEX News at 4. Some storms are coming through the bluegrass this evening. We'll send it over to meteorologist Abby Summers for our storm tracker forecast.
Well, yeah, we're watching a line of some showers and storms pushing their way into parts of northern Kentucky at the moment. Just worked its way through Cincinnati. We've got a couple tornado warnings along this line. Had some straight line winds at about 70 miles per hour. We've seen some damage into parts of Cincinnati, so that's continuing to work its way into our area as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. Here's a look at max track across the majority of our area. Not seeing much at the moment, but we're watching this line as some showers and storms just off to our north, just into the north of our northern fringe counties, continuing to work its way, drop its way south as we go throughout the next couple of hours, working its way into our area over the next few. So here's a look of that line as it's just pushed its way through Cincinnati. Multiple tornado warnings along this line at the moment, just little areas of spin embedded within this line that we have the potential to see a few spin up tornadoes. Now if these were to continue to be extended, these would move into our northern tier counties, places like Fleming County, Nicholas County, Scott County, as we go throughout the next couple of hours. Make sure you're staying weather aware this evening as that line's continuing to push its way into our area and have the potential of mainly seeing the damaging wind threat, but we also have the potential of seeing a few spin-ups along this line as well. So here's satellite radar over the past couple of hours. That's the system continuing to work its way, dropping more towards the south as we go throughout the next couple of hours. Been moving a little bit southeast, but expecting that to drop a little bit more south over the next few hours. Watching for some gusty winds along this line, frequent lightning, torrential rainfall embedded with this as well. So that severe thunderstorm watch for the northern parts of the viewing area, including the bluegrass, including Fayette County. This is until 8 p.m. this evening for the chance of seeing some stronger storms, even severe storms pushing their way through the area. But this folks at the Storm Prediction Center has the northern part of the area, including Lexington, the bluegrass, into parts of eastern Kentucky, highlighted in that level 3 out of 5 for some stronger storms as we go throughout the rest of this evening. The further south you go, dropping into the level 2. That includes places like Laurel and Pulaski counties, and then to the north or southwestern parts of the viewing area, and that level 1 marginal risk for some of those stronger storms. So we're mainly watching for the gusty winds, like I said, damaging straight line winds, that isolated tornado potential, and the torrential rainfall, flash flooding risk embedded in this. Here's a look at the wind risk for this evening. But I have that level, or that 30% chance into Lexington off to the north of seeing some wind gusts 58 plus or higher within a 25-mile radius of where you are located. So we have some really gusty winds pushing their way into the area, and that severe risk sticking with us for tomorrow. A lot lower than what we're seeing out there today, that level 1 marginal risk for the majority of our area, just the northwestern parts of the viewing area, and that level 2 out of 5 for tomorrow. And that flash flooding risk for this evening, though, we have the really good chance of potentially seeing some flash flooding with that moderate level 4 or level 3 out of 4 for seeing some flash flooding as we go into the evening. Includes places like Cynthiana and Moorhead, and that's dropped off just a little bit into Fayette County in that level 2 out of 4 for seeing that flash flooding risk for today, and that's sticking with us for tomorrow. That whole viewing area highlighted in that level 2 for seeing that flash flooding risk. Lots of rainfall embedded within these systems as we go throughout or clusters of storms as we go throughout the next few days. So that flood watch in effect through at least tomorrow morning for the northern and eastern half of the viewing area as we go throughout tonight and into tomorrow. So as we jump to that 8-day forecast, continuing to watch for some stronger severe storms as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening.
All right, update in the weather situation. We now have tornado warnings locally. We've been watching this line of storms dropping down out of northern Kentucky, dropping out of the Cincinnati metro. So what we have are tornado warnings that are in place. This is going to be for Scott County, for Bourbon County. This is also going to be in effect for Nicholas County as well as Harrison County. So we again have tornado warnings that are in place. We'll highlight these here for you. Tornado warnings for from Paris to Cynthiana to Carlisle, and it looks like it's west of Georgetown. In fact, it just barely clips part of Scott County there. So again, when we're talking about these warnings, here you go. Harrison County, tornado warning. That's going to be in effect until 5 o'clock. For Bourbon County, it's going to be in effect until 5 o'clock. You can see many counties are impacted here. So it's a broad brush tornado warning. The storm itself looks to be north of Cynthiana, not too far from Barry, as we look here on the max track. You also have tornado warnings up in Robertson County, as well as getting into Bracken County up to our north. Nicholas County is included in this as well. So from Carlisle to Paris to Cynthiana, that is essentially your tornado warning that is in place. This has been a powerful line of storms as it has been dropping southward. It has come through the Cincinnati metro. They had 70-mile-per-hour measured winds in and around downtown Cincinnati, up at the old Lunkin Field there. They reported that wind gust up in Cincinnati. But that line now is getting into our area. Regardless of the tornado threat, there's also a severe thunderstorm threat going on. This is an area we highlighted a little bit ago for you. You folks in Cynthiana, you need to be in shelter now. For you folks in Barry, in shelter. Carlisle to Paris, Ruddles Mill in the northern part there of Bourbon County, you guys are in shelter right now. And so when we talk about places to be, safe places to go, we call it C-Duck, and C-Duck is a way to get to your safe spot. Close all your interior doors. If you've got time, get it done. Downstairs, lowest level you can get to. If your house has a basement, that's what you get to. Otherwise, you want to just be on the ground floor. You want to get under something big, heavy, and sturdy, something that can protect you from flying debris and flying stuff. You want to be in the center part of your house and then keep away from windows and doors, sources of flying glass. So again, C-Duck is how we advise you to remain safe during a tornadic situation. And that tornadic situation now is what we are looking at in, well, areas to the northeast of Lexington. So again, we're going to be with you here until 5 o'clock and probably a little later the way things are going. We have been watching on a velocity display here. And again, the straight line winds have been the predominant feature with this. So as we're looking quickly, Max Track is not picking up any rotation. All this is just debris showing up, all that speckly stuff you see. This is the area that we're concentrating on, up in and around Barry, north of Breckenridge there. So this has been a line that has come all the way down from northern Kentucky, and so they've expanded the warning out. And it's really a fairly broad-brushed warning, but at the very least, even if there is not a tornado threat, there is certainly a straight-line wind damage threat out of this. And with that, you are looking in and around Barry, where we're seeing gusts in the 60-mile-per-hour range. That's going to be about 3,000 or 4,000 feet off the surface, because that's from our site here in Lexington. As it angles upward, you're getting to that altitude, but still very strong winds are associated with that. Bring you back into the live radar. So again, you're seeing the storms extending out toward Broadwell, towards Cynthiana, around Breckenridge here. This again is where you're going to see the strongest of the winds showing up with this. Again, tremendous lightning producers as well. And truthfully, that lightning gets to be a little distracting on this. Let's pull that off here just for a second. You are looking at severe thunderstorm warnings now up into Owen County. But again, the tornado warnings, they come out of Grant County. They're coming out of Pendleton County with the warning and extend then into Harrison County, as well as just the corner there of Scott County. So again, the Scott County part of the warning does not include Georgetown, does not include Stamping Ground, does not include Sadieville. Really, it's just for that little bit of an indentation that goes up into Harrison County there. So again, it's well east of I-75 for the Scott County portion of that warning. Harrison County, this is where the storms are right now. Till 5 o'clock, that is a tornado warning that is in place. And then again, if you extend it out to the southeast, Nicholas County, and then also Bourbon County, tornado warnings until 5 o'clock. So with these, okay, need to scooch the microphone here. Okay. Technical stuff going on here.
60-mile-per-hour wind gusts have been reported at the Harrison County, Kentucky measurement.
Okay, so that's north of Cynthiana. You heard Abby Summers, meteorologist Abby Summers there, relaying that information. When you get stuff coming through, Abby, just yell. And so where we're talking, so you got Cynthiana here in Harrison County. As this line was coming through, that was where we had a 60-mile-per-hour gust. So you're at severe weather threshold. So that is the storm that we are looking at with that is it's in Harrison County. Again, we weren't seeing a lot of rotation. Let's take it over to the Louisville radar. Again, we're at their edge of coverage. So again, they're not showing much of anything storm relative. Yeah, not showing much on their radars at all. So truthfully, the Max Track is the best option at this point. So we go back to the Max Track. And we're in Doppler mode with this, so we are able to look at the velocities with this. The area there, and again, this is a fast-moving storm. These are dropping south between 40 and 50 miles an hour. So again, you're seeing Cynthiana there in Broadwell. That area in between Cynthiana and Broadwell is an area we'd be looking at this point. So again, you folks need to be in your shelters at this point. See if you can go back on just regular internet, the Kentucky Mesonet. Yes. Check to see if there's a Harrison County camera on that. So again, that's going to be where the Mesonet site, it sits in the Licking Valley north of Cynthiana. That's one of the reasons why it's one of our colder spots that we show you sometimes at night. But again, where we're seeing that little bit of a hooking going in here. The setup for earlier today, we had those big thunderstorms that had gone across parts of eastern Kentucky. It sent out an outflow boundary. That's a barrier. That provides shear. And we were talking about this on a Facebook Live a little while ago, that there was a line running basically like that. And so as that big line came out of Indiana and Ohio, you've got this line here that acts as a shear point. And so you're getting twistings going on along that axis. And so that's why these tornado warnings have come out in a pretty broad area. You've got isolated storms that are developing southern Scott County, southern Franklin County, southern Woodford County, also getting into parts of Bath and Rowan counties as well. Those storms are not severe at this point. We're going to see with...
It's like just rainfall.
Okay. And yeah, just rain. So it'd been interesting to see when that came through a little while ago. But again, we're waiting to see if there's any new data coming in. New warnings, you got severe thunderstorm watches that are already in place.
Got extended too.
Severe thunderstorm watch has been extended all the way into southeastern Kentucky. Leave that up real quick and just flip over to your source here, just to show you where that severe thunderstorm watch is. So again, there you see the severe thunderstorm watch that's been extended out. What time until?
Looks like
8 o'clock. So it's going to be the same time frame here. So again, that's until 8 o'clock, and that does include all of southeastern Kentucky. So everybody basically east of 75 needs to remain weather aware. Let's get back into where we are talking with the most serious of these storms right now, and that's the tornado warnings that we have for Harrison County. Again, that storm is in Harrison County at this point. It's that area. If I'm betting right now, it's in that area just to the south and southwest of Cynthiana. We're seeing the shear, and that may be extending even almost to the Scott County line. Are we still picking up anything with the velocities? Broad rotation showing up with that. Nothing is really tightened up per se, but there are certainly very strong winds, straight line, being indicated out of this storm just to the north of Cynthiana. But again, it's on that leading edge right in there, where I think if this storm has any rotation to it, that's where it's going to be. We've seen anything on the shear products? Not a lot. Again, this is from the Louisville radar, so it's, again, not the best radar to use, but again, that's the one that generates the shear products for us. So again, that area just... Broadwell, again, you folks need to be in shelter. It's in that little arcing right in there. So again, you're getting almost into Bourbon County, near the Scott-Bourbon-Harrison County conjunction right in there, is where, if I'm a betting man, that's where that storm, if it has spin to it, that's where it's going to be at this point. So that's the area we'll keep an eye on. You look up towards Cynthiana, you certainly have got some very strong winds coming in now through Cynthiana back up toward Oldville, where you're looking at that change, where it goes from basically nothing to very sharp. That is, again, an indication of straight line wind potential with this system. But again, that's, I think, the straight line portion of this. It's area down around Broadwell. This is, again, where I'm really concerned at this point. You're seeing almost the deeper purples and pinks showing up there. That's where you're going to be getting heavy rain. There may be some hail associated with it. I wouldn't expect much in the way of hail. But again, that's what looks like where it's trying to hook on in. So again, that's about where that boundary was that we were talking about. And so the storm is able to get to work off that boundary and develop a shear. And so that's one of the reasons it's spinning and why these warnings have been coming out the way they have been. This means it's knocking on the door of Bourbon County. So you folks in Paris, you need to be in shelter. Cynthiana, you are definitely in shelter with this storm. Nicholas County, the storms are a little bit to your north and west right now. You've got a minute or two but then get to where you need to be. Anything there, Abby?
Yes, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Bath County, Menifee County, Morgan County, and Rowan counties. This is until 5 p.m. this evening.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure this is a considerable severe thunderstorm tour possible as well.
So the new severe thunderstorm warnings. This is going to be right now it's warned for straight line winds, but that doesn't mean this will not get upgraded. You heard her mention the tornado possible or tour possible. So it's Fleming County, Bath County, northern Montgomery, a separate severe thunderstorm warning for the eastern part of Bath County, basically around Cave Run over to Rowan County, northern Menifee County. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. But let's take you back to the tornado warning. We also have tornado warnings in Robertson County, although I think that's beginning to pull off to the east and southeast. So that threat may be diminished. And again, we're watching this whole line coming together here. In weather, when you see things, let me just highlight again, Bourbon County with the tornado warning. When you see things that are basically perpendicular, that's a bad thing. That means that you have the potential for developing shear, and that is why we're seeing at that intersection point where I think the storm has the best chance of being tornadic at this point. That does extend into the southern part of Scott County, where you've got a nasty storm on the south side of Georgetown, right now not labeled as severe, where we do have the severe storms. Right now, again, I think it's Broadwell now to Leesburg, Ruddles Mill. You guys need to be in shelter. Get over to Kisserton. Again, same idea. Be in shelters now. Cynthiana, yeah, still there. Colville, you're probably just a little to the north in this. I'm thinking the northern part of Harrison County, you still have some really strong winds coming through. Very heavy rain. The tornadic threat, I believe, is to your south at this point. But again, from Cynthiana, so this is take it along Highway 62 there. Cynthiana to Georgetown. That, I think, right now is the axis of greatest danger.
We got a new downstream severe thunderstorm warning coming for Bourbon and Nicholas counties. Doesn't say a time yet, but that's coming.
Okay. So that's going to be the continuation of this line of storms as it is blowing to the south. So again,
until 5:15 this evening.
Until 5:15. So right now that's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning coming out. Let's see again. Are we picking up anything? Just that broad rotation right there around Broadwell. Then you've got your just basically wall of straight line winds. But again, that's a broad rotation showing up, at least on our radar display, over there by Broadwell. And again, the shear products, again, not showing all that much, but again, we're at the extreme distance point for the radar out of Louisville. So we bring it back to the max track. You folks up around the Horse Park, you've got heavy rain going through along I-75 there. That storm not labeled as severe at this point, but the tornado warning, Harrison and Bourbon counties until 5 o'clock. Nicholas County still included in that as well. I'm surprised they haven't sheared the northern part of that Harrison County warning off yet. But with that said, you folks in Paris, shelter now. Anywhere along Highway 460 between Paris and the Scott County line, you need to be in shelter now. Take it up then along Highway 68. Going up from Paris toward Nicholas County. You guys, the storm is coming right at you at this point. So you guys need to be prepared and in shelter. So again, that's your tornado warning. You see Brentsville, Ewalt Crossroads, and again, downtown Paris sitting right there as well. So again, that's the most likely candidate if this storm has a tornadic signature on it. It's going to be right in that area now, just to the south of Broadwell. And regardless of that, you have the potential for hurricane force winds, straight line hurricane force winds as a potential with these storms as well. That's been its history as it has been dropping southward. So again, you've got this line dropping southward. You've got a shear point now through northern Fayette, northern part of Woodford, getting into northern Anderson, southern Franklin counties. So we're going to continue to watch this area for further development with all this. Again, we're not showing you much in terms of, well, just see if maybe Jackson has a look at it. Jackson, we're also at the extreme end of theirs. Yeah, Jackson's not showing much. They're showing a little rotation up here just to the east of Cynthiana. So if we come back to our radar, what are they having their shear? A little stronger showing up there, but again, that's also very high up off the Jackson beam. For us, could be a little bit of a notching right in there, right around Colville. So that's where, again, we're seeing it. What else you have there, Abby?
Nothing.
Okay. All righty, so Millersburg, Shawin, Ewalt's Crossroad, Black's Crossroad, Paris. This right now I think is your prime real estate where if there's a tornadic part of the storm, it's going to be right in there. That's, again, where I think your greatest shear is located. Although anywhere along this footprint, we'll expand it out a little bit. Anywhere along the leading edge of this, there has been shear available as it's dropped southward. So anywhere along that arc is where we've been seeing these tornado warnings that have been issued, starting with the Wilmington, Ohio National Weather Service office. So this is where we really need to stay weather aware along this entire line. This is not going to be a long track event. This is going to be short spin-ups where they're not the same caliber as the big long track tornadoes, but they still obviously do damage and can be a very scary thing. But you may see straight line winds almost as strong potentially as what the tornadic winds could be with all this. So again, 440 here, and our tornado warnings for Harrison County and for Bourbon County continue until 5 o'clock. Been no updates on those, so that's also a little bit surprising. So again, you're south of Cynthiana with this, that little bit of a notching. Let's see if, again, pull our velocity on here. We're showing straight line in that same area. That doesn't take storm relative into account. So this is just pure velocity data. Storm relative takes the storm motion into account, and there's a lot of storm motion with this. These are flying to the south between 40 and 50 miles an hour. So again, strong winds have now pushed through Cynthiana. They're coming up through Currentsville. Paris, you are very close to the strong straight line winds, but you're also very close to where we were, again, thinking this storm had some potential if it had anything spinning with it. I think that's going to be out there around Currentsville at this point, so just north of Paris. And again, as we talk about places to stay safe, we showed you the sea duct earlier. Let's give you the schematic on the house. And again, use your house as a guide. So you want to be lowest level you can. If your house has a basement, that's where you go. You want to be at the lowest level you can. If you don't have the basement, you want to be on the ground floor. And you don't want to be on walls that are on the outside. Those are bad places to be. In this particular structure, it's that bathroom in the middle of the house that would be the safest place to be. The interior closets are secondary, but it's that bathroom in the middle that would be the safest place to be in this scenario. And one more time, we've talked about it with the kids. We do Bill's Weather 101s. That you've prepared for this already. You've talked about it. You know where to go, and so you don't panic. You've got a few seconds here in most places to get to your safe spot. You know where to go. You go ahead and do it. So kids, if you're home, maybe mom and dad are not out there, you're teenagers and you're at home, just get to your safe spot and be there and be safe.
Hey, but we got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for Bourbon, Clark, Fayette, and Scott counties. I'm pretty sure this is until 5:15 p.m. Any
tour possible on that?
I'm not seeing one.
Okay. So we're extending the severe thunderstorm warning out. Have they mentioned anything at all in the tornado warning? I mean, just pulling at least the northern half of Harrison County out.
No, they've not mentioned anything.
Okay.
About tornado warning.
So again, you've got the storms are encroaching on Paris. Bourbon County is the primary location at this point where we are looking at if this storm is tornadic, where it's going to be. Cynthiana and Colville, if you're still within the realm of very strong winds. There's a little notching right in there between Barterville and Colville. So again, anywhere on that entire line that we were showing you, there can be brief little spin-ups, and that's a candidate as well. So that's getting close to actually getting into Nicholas County at this point, the extreme western part of Nicholas County. Ruddles Mill, again, the storms are basically on top of you. Kisserton, the same. Jimtown, a little bit to the north, still to the north and west of Paris by a few miles. Your new severe thunderstorm warnings, that's the storm up there by the horse park. So that's Fayette County until 5:15. That extends back to Masterson Station, where another storm is in progress, until 5:15. They do clip the southern part of Bourbon County, 5:15, extreme northwestern tip of Clark County until 5:15. That is a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell that's just east of I-75 at the horse park. And with that, that's going to be heading on toward Muir, basically Paris Pike here in the next little bit. You folks there, be prepared for that in the northern part of Fayette County up there through the horse farms. Again, we're still watching for that with that tornado warning in Bourbon County. areas north and west of Paris, the likely candidates if this storm does have a tornadic potential to it. That's the most likely scenario, although, again, between Colville and Barterville, right there at the Harrison and Scott County lines, I think we just turned our generator on, where we are also looking at that storm headed toward Carlisle. Carlisle, you're at the very edge of that warning. That is unlike Louisville to not update, to pull northern Harrison County out of that. But with all that said, you folks in and around Paris, you guys need to be in shelter now. By the way, when we mention tornado warning with this system coming in, that does not mean go on your front porch with your cell camera trying to get a picture. You save that for after the storms have gone by. Do it when it's safe. You don't want to risk life, you don't want to risk injury by going out into a severe weather event like that. So again, when it's safe, we certainly want your pictures, but again, we don't want you in harm's way either. So again, tornado warning until 5 o'clock for Bourbon County. We're at 4:45 here. This is not the greatest signature, but we have been watching this entire line dropping south. One other thing to keep in mind with all this, there are flash flood watches up for most of central and eastern Kentucky. These storms are going to drop a tremendous amount of water, and these aren't going to be the last storms either. So again, be aware of that situation developing over the coming basically 18 to 24 hours. Watching this, again, this is one of the things, too, where on these leading edges, these are quick little spin-ups. There's another candidate that's developing here just south of Leesburg. So you see that little notching right in there. So this is to the northwest of Paris. We're talking northwest by about, you're talking about 7 miles northwest of Paris. Where we're seeing that notching, so especially at the tail end of that system where it's off by itself here, that may have been developing its own circulation. That's going to be not right at the Scott and Bourbon County line, just north of 460, where we're seeing that potential. So this is going to be just east of the Toyota plant. So again, we've talked about this area before, and it's, again, brief spin-ups that can happen. Regardless of the brief spin-ups, the potential is within this line of those hurricane-force wind gusts in a straight line. 70-mile-per-hour straight line, 70-mile-per-hour spinning wind will do the same damage. So treat them equally. Be in the appropriate shelters for you. So again, still sitting northwest of Paris. The storm has slowed down a little bit on its track southward. But anywhere along that leading edge, you're still having the potential for a tornadic cell. That does extend into Nicholas County until 5 o'clock. I think Harrison County, I think you guys are pretty much out of this one. It looks like that last little notching is just south of Leesburg, so you're getting into Bourbon County at this point. So again, south of Leesburg. So again, there's the county line right in there, and I think you're just a little south of that at this point. You're in Cynthiana, I think you're out of the tornadic danger. Okay, anywhere Cynthiana north, I think you're out of it. But for folks in Bourbon County, you are still within that tornado warning until 5 o'clock. So again, that storm continues pressing south. That looks to be the best candidate, the one on the tail end right there, near Leesburg, again, just north of 460. This is going to be pretty close to the Scott County Airport, where we're seeing that going on. So between 75 and the Bourbon County line there in Scott County, the extreme western part there of Bourbon County. Severe thunderstorm ongoing northwest Fayette County. We've been not paying much attention to it. So let's just get a glimpse of it very quickly. Again, you folks in Bourbon County, you guys need to be in your safe spots. So let's come on in. And again, not showing rotation. You see the winds there. Those are actually pulling away from the radar site. These are coming down toward the radar site. So the radar site's sitting on the north side of Lexington here. So we'll keep an eye on that around Jimtown, again, near the Bourbon County line. Bring it back to the regular radar.
Hey, Bill, I'm going to jump in from...
Please.
That's all right. So from Jackson, they're starting to see some discrete convection ahead of that main line. Starting to notice those storms getting very tall. So that additional severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Bath, around in Menifee and Morgan counties. And this is until, I'm trying to get the time here. I'm not seeing a time until 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. at the moment. And then they also they're canceling the tornado warning for Harrison and Scott counties, but they're continuing the tornado warning for Bourbon and Nicholas County.
Yep. So yeah, what we've been talking about here, we say it here, comes out there. So again, severe thunderstorms, they're in and around Cave Run, from Moorhead through Clearfield, northern part of Morgan County, and you get into the severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock, northeastern part of Menifee County. So that's your severe thunderstorm warning. There is a broad brushing of severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, it's hard to keep track. So let's just say from I-75 to West Virginia, there are severe thunderstorm warnings at this point, with the tornado warning that continues in Bourbon County. So again, they've tightened that warning up as expected. It's still sitting to the north and west of Paris. And again, it can evolve along the line. You can get a spin up here, and then 10 minutes later, you get a spin up back here, and the sequence can continue. So again, it's not just one long tornadic path. It's within the cloud, there's a changing environment. Within the squall line, a changing environment. And so that is why we're seeing, again, some development here on the western flank. And again, as we were talking about earlier, when you see things that are perpendicular, you've got this here, you've got this here. And so that is, again, where you would be eyeing the potential for tornadic storms in this scenario. And again, that's what we're seeing there to the south of Leesburg, north of Jimtown. This is going to be to the northeast of the Horse Park. So you're, again, along Highway 460 between Paris and Georgetown. You're near the Scott and Bourbon County line is where we're seeing the best potential for this. But again, anywhere along any one of these notches that you see has the potential to get a little bit of a spin up going. So you folks in Paris, you guys need to be in your shelter. And regardless of that, again, along the leading edge, within this whole broad swath, you can still see winds 70 miles per hour. So again, pushing hurricane force. I would not even discount the storms just to the south and southwest, the one in northern Fayette County. Certainly torrential rain with that, likely very strong winds associated with that. We'll keep an eye on that northern Woodford County storm as well. And then just in and around Keene there in Jessamine County, you are looking at another storm in progress. So another 9 minutes on the tornado warning. Hopefully this will be the last one we have to deal with today. But again, we're on basically the apex of this bow that's coming down. So again, we're talking about the apex of the bow. You see how it goes like that? So that's where that tornado warning is, right at that arcing point. And it's, again, where you get that shear connection. And remember, we told you earlier, there was a line that was going basically like that. So everything right now is pointing into southern Bourbon County, where we're seeing that potential for a tornadic storm. It seems to be back building a little bit into Scott County. So we'll keep an eye on that. So you folks in Paris, obviously, you are in your shelter at this point. If you're in Millersburg, at this point, you're in the warning. Better safe than sorry. So stay in shelters as far to the northeast as Millersburg, into Carlisle. You folks in Cynthiana, you folks are done with the warning. So again, you guys can relax, although you still are probably going to see some strong winds and heavy rain. But again, it's in this area. Paris, back along Highway 460, near the Fayette County line. So this is going to be up pushing through Russell Cave Road. You're seeing that intersection right in there. So if the storm has anything ongoing with it, that's where it's going to be. Again, not showing much, although we're showing the stronger winds. Now keep in mind, as this storm is getting closer to northern Fayette County, where our radar site is located, these winds are getting closer to the surface. And so we're likely just off the surface at this point. And we're seeing some wind gusts in there, still in the 60-mile-per-hour range. So again, this is going to be less than 1,000 feet up. We're seeing that. So some of that may indeed be working its way down to ground level. So we'll be watching that potential for straight-line wind damage as well. Again, any circulation right now appears to be broad, although it may be tightening up a little bit there, northern part of Fayette County. But again, that's in a severe thunderstorm warning at this point, and that's all that remains at this point. Your tornado warning is for Bourbon County. That storm has really slowed down and ended up to parts of Nicholas County. So from Carlisle, although again, we're not showing much out toward Carlisle at this point, but from Millersburg in to Paris, then along Highway 460, just north of the Fayette County line is where we're watching this. Again, your tornado warning until 4:53.
I was going to say the Kentucky Mesonet site out of Nicholas County has a wind gust of 81 miles per hour.
Wow. Okay. So that's not in the tornadic part. but a wind gust, remember, we're talking about the straight line winds. Let's get a better view, just real quick. Let's pop that. So, okay, the 80-mile-an-hour gust that we're getting out of the Mesonet site is going to look like just north of Carlisle. So again, this is going to be aloft. You can see some of the 70-mile-an-hour winds aloft, so some of that has been able, in these storms, to get translated, get pushed down to the surface. They're showing less wind as you come further away, also as you look toward Bourbon County. As long as we're at it here, let me just pop Louisville on here. So Louisville is showing rotation aloft near Carlisle. It's broad, but that's, again, likely one of the ways we're translating that wind down to the surface. Our radar was just showing some straight winds, but again, that was also off of straight velocity. Strong winds, again, being shown, that's going to be several thousand feet up. Looks like they've gone to a considerable tornado threat, or excuse me, severe thunderstorm threat for the storm going into Bath County. Let me bring radar back up just so you get a more clear picture of what's going on here. So again, we're watching that storm to the east of Paris. Again, we're really slowed down. Let's bring the max track back up for you and get you the live look. So there we go. So it's now considered to be a considerable severe thunderstorm threat. That's going to be for destructive severe thunderstorm for Bath County, Montgomery County, Fleming County. So when we're into this realm, you're now talking winds that are approaching hurricane force potential. So again, that's on the leading edge of that entire gust front coming through with that whole complex of storms that has a history of hurricane force winds. And in fact, it looks like they've now done the same for the storms that are in through Bourbon County as well as Nicholas County.
Yes.
We've gone to a considered destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So your Level 1 severe thunderstorm warning, that's winds to 57 miles per hour. When you're getting to the destructive category, now they're pushing the hurricane force potential with these. So again, we're coming up on 456. The tornado warnings hopefully will be discontinued, and we'll get you to LEX News at 5 here, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And we'll talk obviously in more detail about the weather. But again, you still have your tornado warning in Bourbon County.
I don't know if you said this, but they just added a destructive tag for the Fleming counties.
Yeah, we've already,
Okay.
we hit that.
Okay.
So yeah, we hit that with the Eastern Kentucky warning. So all those that you see in tan that are flashing there, that's for warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, straight line wind warnings. But again, you're approaching hurricane force. And again, as we've said, straight line or spinning 70-mile-per-hour plus winds do the same damage. And so the potential is certainly there with many of these storms. And that cluster there, yeah, through Bourbon County, is that clipping? Not quite in, they're clipped out Fayette County from that, for the destructive part. But again, as this drops south, you folks in Clark County, Montgomery County as well, you guys need to be ready that this is not your ordinary thunderstorm coming through. Paris, you guys are experiencing that right now. Tornadic or not, you're experiencing a severe thunderstorm coming through. And again, it's one of those things you see, it's like, wow. You know, where the trees are bent over, you lose visibility, but it's in that whole clustering right in there. If this storm is tornadic, I still think it's on that edge to the southwest there of Paris. That appears where we have the most shear and the most notching going in. So again, that the most likely candidate, which again is right about where we're showing it there on the shear products. But again, it's not overwhelming. So again, these are quick spin-ups. It is a situation where these things can literally form, do their thing, and be gone in less than 5 minutes. It's not a long track tornado, but still treat it with respect and be in shelters whenever you come under a warning.
I say the Nicholas County, Kentucky Mesonet site is still reporting a wind gust as high as 78. So I mean, it's still pretty gusty out there.
So in this area up there around Carlisle, you've got this whole line that's been coming in. Behind it, you see things look to be clearing out, but that's where you're able to bring these tremendous winds down to the surface. And so all along Highway 68 there, from Carlisle to Millersburg to Paris, again, even though you've been in that tornado warning, it may be straight line winds that are doing the damage. Again, what we're seeing, the notching going in there is just south of 460 there, near the Bourbon-Fayette County line. So again, not too far from Paris Pike at this point. Coming into the southeast, you see Muir and Muir Station. So again, within that whole realm there, damaging wind gust potential is very, very high. You've got the severe thunderstorm warning also for Fayette County, That's for the northern part of Fayette County until 5:15. I don't want to even say a lesser or severe thunderstorm warning, but it's not in the same classification right now as the ones just upstream there, just to the northeast. So your tornado warning for another minute there in Bourbon County. They mentioned on the chat if they're going to let this drop.
They haven't said a word yet.
We're going to work under the theory at 5 o'clock that this is all going to drop out. The tornado warning will drop out. We'll begin our regular newscast. So Evelyn and Larry and the folks in the back, at 5 o'clock here, we'll let you take over, and then we'll have our first weather coming up literally in about a minute after that. So again, for another 30 seconds, it's a tornado warning. But again, I think the most important thing at this point is these flashing tan icons, or these polygons that you see, indicating destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. So it's again destructive straight line wind potential with these as they are dropping through Bourbon and Nicholas County, headed toward Montgomery, Bath, Fleming, and Rowan counties. Northern eastern Fayette County, I think you guys need to be ready as well. These are going to be awfully close. Still no indication from them?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. We've hit 5 o'clock, so we're going to assume that warning, which it just did. It just went away. So with that...
Well, a new tornado warning is coming for Bath and Montgomery counties.
Remember what I just said a second ago? Forget it.
This is until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
So here we go. It's going to be in the area that they put the destructive tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning in. So let's see what Jackson's looking at here. So this is a new tornado warning. Tornado warning until 5:30 for Bath and the eastern slice there of Montgomery County. And this again until 5:30. So they were looking at this little area of a flank, a little bit of a notching that we were looking at just a bit ago that was over near Millersburg. That has been dropping south. This is likely part of the same wind field that produced the 70 and 80 mile an hour winds up in Nicholas County. So this is a new tornado warning until 5:30. So for storms that are still just to the west and northwest of Sharpsburg. So again, you're just about into Montgomery as well as Bath County. So again, we'll get to Jackson here, and with that. So this is what Jackson's looking at. This is actually, Jackson's not looking at this. This is actually proprietary for us. So where you're looking at the reds, strong shear is being detected. So that's between Bethel and Sharpsburg, and then Sharpsburg to Bunker Hill, another little notch of dark reds showing up. So again, you are talking about the potential for the tornadic thunderstorms. These storms are showing the shear when we're talking about the storm relative velocities. So at the leading edge of that big wind field where we had the strong winds in place, the potential for these quick spin-ups is there. So again, it's tight, but the rotation itself is not particularly strong. I think the strongest between Sharpsburg and East Union there. But again, you've got also another little spin just to the southwest of Bethel. So this is headed toward Reynoldsville. We were just a couple weeks ago in these same communities talking about the potential for these, for potentially tornadic storms, and you've got the same areas under warnings again. Straight line velocities. So again, there's your gust front coming through right in here. And again, within that gust front, there is the potential where we could see little spin-ups taking place. You folks in Owingsville, okay, you're under the tornado warning. When you're under that tornado warning in Bath County and Owingsville, you've got a minute or two here. Okay, the storms are not to you yet in Owingsville. Mount Sterling, you're not included in the tornado warning, but you are included, you're right on the edge of the destructive severe thunderstorm warning. But again, Owingsville is well within the polygon here. Olympia headed over towards Salt Lick and Cave Run. But it's in this area here, Sharpsburg to Bethel at this point. But you folks in Owingsville, what you do at this point, and we'll bring the sea duck back up for you, just to remind you where you need to be. So with that, you close the interior doors. You want to compartmentalize your house. If your house is unfortunate and takes a direct hit, if you've compartmentalized, the chances of the house surviving and not suffering catastrophic damage actually increases. It's the same theory that if you see submarines, what they do, they close all the compartments, all the hatches, to try and compartmentalize everything and to try and limit the damage. So that is to close interior doors, your bathroom doors, bedroom doors, closet doors, all those. You obviously make sure all the windows are closed as well, if you have time. If you're in Bethel or Sharpsburg, you don't have time right now. So what you do then is you get downstairs, lowest level you can, basement if you got it, ground floor if you don't. You get under something big, heavy, and sturdy. Big, heavy table, a couch, a bed. Get in a bathtub. Under a staircase is a good place to be, especially if it's in the center part of the house. The walls of your house are layers of protection. The more interior you are, the better your chance of survival, assuming a direct hit. And then keep away from windows and doors. You want to keep away from flying glass. Keep a bike helmet nearby if you can. All those things can help you stay safe given these worst case scenarios. So with all that, your max track again is showing that we've got the storms just now getting into Sharpsburg. You've got the potential for damaging wind gusts. I mean, it's a complex look you've got going here. So again, we're trying to just basically filter out some of the noise and give you the worst of this. We've got a new tornado warning. So a new tornado warning is coming out and is out now for Rowan County until 5:30. You've got it into the extreme eastern part of Fleming County until 5:30, northern part of Morgan County until 5:30. Elliott County is also included in that until 5:30. So that's a new tornado warning that has come out as well. So again, it's fairly broad brushed. And with that, again, you're seeing the heavy rain coming through Lexington now. With that, so again, we've shown you the tornado warnings. Just real quick for our folks here in Lexington. If we can.
I was going to say, for that one, I'm trying to get back to it.
Yeah, so there's a look from downtown Lexington. So you've got this, and a quickly moving shelf cloud coming through here. Torrential rain is right on the back edge of that, where you're losing the horizon line. So again, that's where the rainfall is torrential on the west side of Lexington. So that is what we're looking at from there. From the north side here at LEX-18. Oh, that's actually the old camera at Keeneland. We can bring in over there at the distillery. So again, the ominous look, you can see the sweeping scud clouds going on in there as well. So that gives you just at least a live look as to what's going on. We bring it back now to the tornado warnings. So with these, your tornado warnings are along the I-64 corridor. They are as you get into Bath and Montgomery County. So I-64 corridor from Mount Sterling east at this point, we have tornado warnings in place. You are looking at a storm that's near Sharpsburg. In fact, let's bring the Jackson radar up since they're the ones who issued that warning to see if they get just a better look. So with that, so there's the Jackson radar. We're getting some attenuation off the max track here. So again, the storms are right at Sharpsburg, right at Judy at this point. You folks in Owingsville, you've got a couple of minutes before the storms are there, but they are coming. In fact, if we were to try and plot this out for you. So you've got the storm leading edge there just about at Sharpsburg. So assuming between 40 and 50 miles an hour. Here's your times. Judy basically now. Reynoldsville at 5:11, Slate Valley 5:18, Owingsville 5:18 as well, Olympia at 5:26. So that is where we are looking at the times of arrival for that leading edge of this. Now keep in mind, this entire leading edge that you're seeing here, from Fleming County to Nicholas to Bourbon and to northern Fayette, northern part of Woodford, this whole area can see winds 60, 70 miles per hour straight line. That's why we have the destructive severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place. That's in Bourbon County there. Potentially destructive severe thunderstorm until 5:15 with that warning. Same in Nicholas County until 5:15. Regardless of that tornado warning that's in Bath and Montgomery, you also have that same destructive severe thunderstorm warning. What that is you can see wind gusts to hurricane force within that. So again, there is your tornado warning until 5:30 for Bath County. As you see, Sharpsburg is getting heavy rain and strong winds. Back toward North Middletown, same idea, heavy rain, strong winds. Damaging wind potential is there as well. Owingsville, you're certainly on this path. And as we look to, again, the shear potential with this, again, this is quick spin-ups. It's not something that's on the ground for 30, 40 miles. This may have a lifespan of a couple of minutes, and that's it. But in that couple of minutes, you can see again that twisting and the shearing going on. So again, you see that, pull that in now. So in and around Judy, our relative velocities, again, aren't right at the moment the best looks that you're seeing, but still these things can potentially spin up quickly. And you've got to respect when a warning comes out for this. Keep in mind, we're not the ones who issue the warnings. We are the conduit that it gets to you with. And so the folks there in Jackson have put out these tornado warnings that you see for Bath County, that tornado warning until 5:30, Montgomery County till 5:30, Rowan County until 5:30, Northern Morgan County until 5:30, although that will likely be added to at some point. And then you take it up into Fleming County until 5:30. Those are all current tornado warnings that are in place, and then severe thunderstorm warnings outline the balance of that.
I was going to say, a new severe thunderstorm warning got issued for Bath, Elliott, Estill, Fleming, Johnson, McGoffin, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Powell, Rowan, and Wolfe counties. This is until 5:45 p.m., and they have a tornado possible tag on that.
Okay,
warning.
so that warning that just came out, and so what Jackson has just done is broad brushed this whole arc that you're seeing there. And so we've kind of expanded things out. So you see this arcing that runs from West Virginia and Southern Ohio all the way down to Lexington, the leading edge of that. So that's kind of where the apex now sits, is now sitting out here a little bit more to the east with that bowing that we were showing you there. So that is where the greatest potential, and that's a lot of flashing stuff that you see going on. So the new severe thunderstorm warning is huge.
And to say they just went destructive, a destructive warning now goes in for Wolfe County with a threat of 80-mile-per-hour winds.
That's all the way down here. So that includes Powell County. Well, we'll just highlight, well, the storms are still way up here in the I-64 corridor. It's going to be a while before these get down all the way to the south. I can't see if there's a gust front out in front of all this, but I doubt it given that first line that you see there to the south of Moorhead. So again, these are approaching I-64. Let's get to the tornado warnings again. You've got the potential within that whole arc that there could be hurricane force winds. That's why you have that broad brushing of a severe thunderstorm warning that covers about half of eastern Kentucky. But our tornado warnings, and these are the serious warnings, they're all serious warnings, but this is where we focus. Bath County as well as Montgomery County until 5:30. And again, the broad area of destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So within this line, anywhere in this line, you are looking at the potential for hurricane force gusts. What this likely is, by the way, because this whole thing began in Iowa, and it hit the Chicago area hard today. It came through Indianapolis and Cincinnati, and now is hitting us. This is likely what will be classified as a derecho. So you'll likely be hearing that phrase a lot here over the next coming day or so. With that, regardless of what it's called, it is a potentially dangerous situation. And so we are looking back into Montgomery County. I'm looking for any things, you know, right now there's not a lot of spin that's showing up, at least on the radar displays. But again, these things can spin up very quickly. And so they come with little warnings. So that's why the warnings are put out in advance, so that you're not waiting for the storm to get to you. Hopefully, if you're in Bath or Montgomery or Rowan or Fleming counties, that you're sitting in your safe place right now and listening to us either on the TV in the distance, through the apps, any way you can get that information. And with that, you see until 5:30 these tornado warnings are in place. So Sharpsburg to Bethel, although I think the storms are getting past you at this point. So you've got these cells out in front of the main line here, and it's this main line that's come all the way down, again, from Iowa and Illinois. So there is your tornado warning for Bath, tornado warning for Montgomery until 5:30. Again, just watching for little notches showing up. Nothing, again, really appears to be tightening up. With that said, even if it's not tightening up, in that line, straight line, you have the wind potential coming on through, in addition to the severe thunderstorm warnings that are flashing onto the south. Essentially, if you are, well, east, and thank you for putting that there, if you are east of I-75, you're out toward Highway 11, Highway 15. You're under essentially some degree of warning at this point. And it's more than just the run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorm warning. These have got the destructive tag on them. And so again, you're talking the hurricane force winds. I mentioned it a second ago. Severe thunderstorm, one that we issue for, or the Weather Service issues for, 57-mile-per-hour winds or greater. Destructive is 74 miles per hour or greater. So again, you're at the hurricane force threshold.
We're getting a report of hail in Garden Springs here in Lexington, size as well.
Okay. So that is an update on the storm right now in Fayette County. That is not a severe warned for storm. That's drifting now through the southwest side of Fayette County. Folks out there along Manowar, over toward Dunbar, by the airport, by Keeneland, continuing back then to just about Fayette Mall, Palomar and Beaumont areas. In fact, we're seeing that dark shading just in there by Dunbar a second ago. That's likely where we're getting a little bit of hail out of this storm. It's also raining very heavily here at the station, so our radar is likely attenuating a lot. That's just water gets on the radome and too much of it, and it actually can block the beam. That's a function of the C-band as opposed to an S-band radar.
It looks like they're issuing a severe thunderstorm warning now for Clark, Fayette, Garrett, Jessamine, Madison, and Woodford counties.
Okay. So the severe thunderstorm warning that just is coming out here is for that hail report coming out of Gardenside. And so you're looking at that storm dropping down through southern Fayette County, northern Jessamine County. This will head down toward Valley View, Wilmore on the edge of that. You get out toward Union Mills, eventually all the way down to Richmond with that severe thunderstorm warning. That again for winds to 57 miles per hour. The eastern Kentucky storm. So when we look at this in the big picture, again, if you're drawing your apex on this, apex on the bow, the eastern flank is where you've got the destructive warnings and the tornado warnings. Western part, you get west of the apex, it's severe thunderstorm, but maybe a little lesser of a degree, but still something that you need to be prepared for. So again, lots of flashing going on here. Lots of stuff to try and get through. So let's take you through all the warnings that we have in place. We'll do the tornado warnings here first. Just real quick. See if there's anything showing up on the shear. That's actually headed over into Carter County. You see a little bit there in Morgan County, but again, these are all just kind of passing the shear rates, or storm relatives, and not showing a lot of tight rotations, but again, these develop very, very quickly. Now, these winds will also get stronger with the radar located down in Jackson as it gets closer. So these are still aloft to a degree, but you also notice that very sharp line where you go from essentially nothing to winds aloft. Well, we're showing some of those bright green shadings in there. You know, you're at 60 miles per hour on some of these, 65. In and around Owingsville right now, aloft 66 miles an hour. So again, that's not surface. That's aloft. But with the convection going, with the storms and their up and down motions, some of these winds that are aloft get brought down to the surface. And so that's when you see that wind damage showing up. And it may not be a spinning wind, but it may be just as destructive as a spinning wind, even if it's just straight line. So again, let's talk about our tornado warnings. Put the radar back on here for you. Bath County till 5:30 with that tornado warning. Montgomery County until 5:30 with the tornado warning. Second tornado warning to the east. You get into Rowan County until 5:30 with that tornado warning. You're also into northern Elliott County till 5:30 with a tornado warning. Northern tip of Morgan County till 5:30, and you also are clipping at least the southeastern corner there of Fleming County. Tornado warning until 5:30. So those are your tornado warnings, where we also surrounding that and extending well to the south and southeast of those tornado warnings. In that flashing tan that you see, those are the destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, now you're talking straight line wind potential of hurricane force. Still could spin up a tornado. So that is covering a vast chunk of real estate in southeastern and eastern Kentucky. And again, as we talk about things ongoing here, just for a second, I just wanted to show you, pop that up for a second. What I wanted to show you again, when we have things that are connected. So again, you've got this line here, you've got this cluster sitting out in front of it. So again, you're seeing that area in and around Bath and Montgomery County where you've got an intersection point. And so that's as these storms or these things are merging together. This is coming down south quickly, merging into this, and it's in that area where you can also see a very quick spin up. And back toward Lexington, again, you've got the same idea at the very edge of this, but again, not showing much in the way of velocities out of that particular. There could be strong straight line winds, certainly. We haven't been seeing much in the way of shear out of that. Where we're seeing most of that right now is actually getting into the southern part of Bath County. So again, that's your big picture. We'll put the warnings back on here for you. And again, I know it gets real tough sometimes to keep track of everything that's going on here. So we bring the radar back on. And in and around Montgomery County toward Camargo there, it's going to be just to the west of where the warning is. We're going to keep an eye on that section, though, just to the southwest of Mount Sterling, because again, anywhere along those lines, you can get these things to spin up. You finding anything else, Abby?
No, it's the only thing at the moment is Rowan County. It's at the Mesonet site. It's got 50-mile-per-hour winds, and then the southern Fayette County site is reporting 42-mile-per-hour winds. So some gusty winds.
So the strongest winds at the moment are in Rowan County, at least that are hitting an instrument. And so the Mesonet site there in Rowan County was in the 50-mile-per-hour range. The one that's near Fayette Mall on the south side of Lexington is in the 40-mile-per-hour range. So again, strong winds are moving through the area. You have your tornado warnings. These are radar indicated. So it's not like somebody saw, hey, there's a tornado. These are radar indicated, but they are there to try and give you advance notice so that you can be in safe spots. So Bath County again until 5:30. And we talked about it earlier, we'll talk about it again. If you're prepared, if you've thought about things beforehand, and we do think about these things with every Bill's Weather 101. When we're talking with the kids there, and we're talking about how the tornadoes work and everything else, but we also tell them how to be safe and to not panic. And so even 10-year-olds know what to do here. And they hopefully have guided parents into the safe spots that they need to be in with these storms that are coming on through. So the key is don't panic, but also don't stand out on the front porch with the cell camera. Do not do that. So if you've got the banner back there, guys, again, if you've got pictures after the storms come through, when it's safe. So again, send those photos to LEX18.com/capture, or you can scan that QR code right there. So again, ways that you can get information to us so that we can relay it out and show what you saw as these storms come on through. But again, when it's safe, not as the storm is coming from across the street. Be safe with all this. So again, tornado warning until 5:30 for Bath and Montgomery counties. Have they updated this at all?
No, the only thing they're saying is 60 to 80-mile-per-hour wind gust in Montgomery County, near exit 113 off of I-64.
Okay. The voice you're hearing there is meteorologist Abby Summers. And with that, she is getting you the information that's being relayed on something we call Weather Chat. So that's relayed through the National Weather Service. So that's ways to get information to you. But you notice how at this point, these things are coming together. So this is going to be a time to watch. The two areas of thunderstorms are basically beginning to merge here.
Okay, they're canceling the tornado warning for Fleming County, but they're continuing it for Morgan, Rowan, and Elliott counties. So
that part of the tornado warning is going to be discontinued. Just got pulled there. In fact, now it's going to be still Rowan County, includes Moorhead. Clearfield looks like you're in that as well. You see, Cave Run technically looks like might be out of the warning. Even though technically you're not in the polygon, you're between two of them. So treat it as though you're in one. So that is what we are looking at with the tornado warnings that are out there. So Bath County, Rowan County until 5:30, Elliott, Northern Morgan until 5:30. The other one also till 5:30 is Montgomery and Bath counties until 5:30 as well for storms that are now, they are crossing I-64. You said there was a wind report along I-64?
Yes, along exit 113.
Okay. And what was that wind report again?
60 to 80 miles per hour. It's not specific.
Oh, so they're estimating?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's, but the 60 to 80, you're in that hurricane force threshold, and that's why you also see the tan icon, or tan polygons that you see flashing there for the destructive severe thunderstorm warning. But that again on the I-64 corridor at this point, and there's still strong winds to the north and northwest of it. And the winds are gusting out ahead of the main line there, so you're seeing potential for that. That's now getting close to Menifee County, which is under a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. But in and around Olympia Springs, again, aloft, we're seeing some of those bright greens, which would be strong winds. Near Frenchburg, there's you've at least got a little bit of, well, that's not even really what I'd call rotation at this point. So again, that's out ahead of the main line. Lexington, again, we've seen wind gusts to 40 miles an hour and the heavy rain that has come on through. But the main event right now is what's going on in areas to the east of Lexington. Your tornado warning, again, a vast one also out through Carter County and Lawrence County, out that direction. Is that Lawrence County? Yep, Lawrence County. So again, that's not part of our viewing area. But again, that's also far eastern parts of Kentucky, Montgomery and Bath County until 5:30. So 6 more minutes on that warning. We're going to see if this gets extended out or if they're going to go with just the destructive severe thunderstorm banner for the balance. And again, for Lexington, you've got a heavy thunderstorm in progress. Severe thunderstorm warning for southern Fayette, Jessamine, northern Madison counties. These severe thunderstorm warnings until 6 o'clock. So again, these storms are now also, you can throw Woodford County in there as well. Storms are getting into the northern part of Jessamine County. That's going out there along Harrodsburg Road, Nicholasville Road, there along Highway 27, getting into Tates Creek Road. West side of Lexington, you've got extremely heavy rain, maybe a little small hail ongoing with that. And again, with those storms, we've been watching them moving on through. That's a better picture than what we were showing you earlier from Big Blue downtown Lexington. But again, the heavy rain has been ongoing there. So just that was a quick look at what's going on there. Let's take you back to the tornado warning for a few more minutes. So the storms are crossing I-64. Wind gusts straight line in the 60 to 70 miles per hour range. If you've got folks who are traveling, either commuting or you know they are traveling today, right now in the I-64 corridor, obviously they are going to be dramatically delayed because if nothing else, it is torrential rain in progress, but you've also got the very strong winds that are impeding travel from Mount Sterling. Actually, take it from Winchester to Mount Sterling to Owingsville, there along I-64 and then over toward Moorhead. So your tornado warning for Bath until 5:30. That is continuing for another few minutes. For Montgomery County, that's going to be just north of Mount Sterling until 5:30 as well. And then to the east, your other tornado warning, which has been shrunk down in size, Rowan County, northern part of Morgan, and Elliott County tossed in there until 5:30 as well. Again, lots of stuff to look at here, trying to just parse things through for you as best we can. Big takeaway is right now in eastern Kentucky, ahead of this line. So you're sitting in Campton or Salyersville or Stanton, and you can look to the north and you can see just ugly clouds are coming down your way. Know that within those clouds, the potential is there for a hurricane force wind gust. And so these warnings will be extended southward. There's a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock that goes all the way down to Tennessee and Virginia. I was about to say, I
don't know if you saw this, or you obviously haven't, but the severe thunderstorm watch has been expanded more south of Lexington, including places like Danville, stuff like that.
Till 8 still?
Yes, until 8 still.
So what they're doing, they've taken the initial watch box that came out, which included Lexington, and because of this clustering right here, they have extended the severe thunderstorm watch down. Does it go all the way to Casey?
Pretty sure.
I can't look at Somerset. No, it does not.
Just north.
Yeah, it goes to Lincoln.
Yes.
So Lincoln, Boyle, Mercer, Anderson, Garrett, Madison have been included in the severe thunderstorm watch now for this part of the line, the tail end of the line that is dropping southward across central Kentucky. So again, you folks, be aware that you've got the potential for severe weather as well. But your tornado warnings for another couple of minutes in Montgomery and Bath counties until 5:30, and for Rowan County till 5:30, and then surrounding that, So the tornado warning was trying to focus in an area that's tough to focus in. The broad brush may actually be the better approach on this go around, where you've got that broad brush severe thunderstorm, but a destructive severe thunderstorm warning that runs from Powell County, Wolfe County, Menifee County, Montgomery County, Bath County, Rowan County, take it toward Morgan County as well. And if I didn't mention Menifee. Within that broad area, you have that potential for hurricane force wind gusts as these cells are merging together. And truthfully, if I know Jackson like I think I know Jackson, they're probably going to issue a tour where these cells are merging, but we'll see. That has not come out yet, and that's for them to decide.
I was going to say there's one report of trees down on, and I might say this wrong, Camargo and Levy Road in Montgomery County.
Yep. So Camargo is between Mount Sterling there and Jeffersonville. So again, this is kind of at the leading edge of all this. Let's put the radar, just quick check, see if we've got max sharp. We may not have much just because, again, of attenuation. So again, it shows up vividly over Fayette County, but again, the rain has kind of have taken away some of our view on that, and that's just the physics of the radar. So let's take you back to the S-band next red here. And so you've got the leading edge coming in now toward Camargo. So ahead of where, if that just came in out of Camargo, ahead of where that heavy rain is, you've got a gust front that looks like it's leading this whole thing, so which may show up in a velocity. So yeah, that's showing up out ahead of that main. The rain is back here. The heavier winds may be just out ahead of it. And so you're looking at that potential for those winds 60, 70 miles per hour or greater as a potential threat on that. So we've hit 5:30. Have they said anything there, Abby?
Yes, they're expiring that tornado warning for Bath and Montgomery counties, but they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson, McGoffin, and Morgan County. Okay. With that, let's try this again. The tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. The flashing tan that you see there, those are the destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. That again for winds to hurricane force. So since the tornado warning has expired, we're going to get you over to LEX News at 5:30 with Evelyn and Larry.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck and Meteorologist Abby Summers, thank you both so much. Remember, you can stay weather aware all night long with our Storm Tracker weather app that's available on all app stores. We want to see what you are seeing outside your window. We're already seeing some pictures and video from you. Send those to us safely to the link on your screen, lex18.com/capture. Bill will be back in a moment here. He'll get a drink of water and collect himself. Have another check of your forecast here in a couple of moments. Alex, appreciate that. Let's get back right now to our weather center. And again, more severe weather on the way.
Yeah, it's a very busy night for you, Bill.
It is, and we've got a new tornado warning coming out. Hasn't plotted out on here yet, but it's going to be for Wolfe County as well as for areas back, was it Powell County and Menifee? Abby?
Let's see, I'm getting there. Another warning for Wolfe, Morgan, Menifee counties. Okay,
so we're waiting for the tornado warning to plot out on that, but it's going to be a new tornado warning coming out on that leading edge that we've been showing you this whole time here. And so with that, we're not, hand tracker not working right now. So we're going to have to do this voiceover the whole time. So we might just do a reset on this. Abby, describe the tornado warning again.
We got a tornado warning for Wolfe, Morgan, and Menifee counties. Now, this warning box says until 5:45 p.m. and it's 5:38. So we got that for a few minutes here, but for Wolfe, Morgan, and Menifee counties.
Okay, so that's a tornado warning, a brand new one. So it's a continuation of where we were with the storms earlier. So let me see the warning again. All right. So that's, yeah, okay, but yeah, it hasn't until 5:45, so this is also a very short term. It does say 5:45, correct?
Yeah, it says 5:45, yeah.
Okay, so that is a short-term tornado warning that has come out on the leading edge of that, again, where the cells were merging together. So again, it's not plotting out on the system here. Let's see if everything is working better now. No, it's not. Oh, here we go, here we go. So, the area we're talking about is Wolfe County, Morgan County, Menifee County. So you, at the very least, have the destructive severe thunderstorm warning in place until 5:45. In addition to that, there's Wolfe County, Morgan County until 5:45. So it's where these cells, these lines have merged together. And that is where we're seeing, again, the potential for this to be spinning up. In fact, if you're looking at it, just out of curiosity, so I was looking at an area right in there. Let's see if it's on the velocity display. Not on either one. Shear rate, same place, but again, not. You're seeing there northern Wolfe County. Some of those reds showing up there, north of Campton, north of the Mountain Parkway. So again, you're into the heavy terrain out there in Wolfe, just to the east there of Powell County, southern part of Menifee County. So this is the area, of course, that was plagued in 2012. That went just north of where we are right now with these storms. So again, this is even though the tornado warning hasn't shown up on
I think they're having issues getting it out.
Is that what they just said?
I said I think the warning is having issues popping up. There's multiple people asking about it, so it's not just us.
Well, there we go. But we don't need that to come through. We can just tell you what's going on. So where you see destructive severe thunderstorm warning, read that as tornado warning. Looking at this, and again, we're talking about these brief spin-ups. This is not going to be that long tracked tornado. This is something that spins up, hangs around for a few minutes, and then basically spins out. The most likely candidate at this point, you are looking Tolliver, Valeria, Murphy Fork. You've got that little bit of a notching. Again, this is where the lines merged together. So you had one line coming in this way, another line sitting here, and where they come together and merge, there's a lot of shear that takes place, and quick spin-ups can indeed occur. So again, I think that's your most likely candidate at this point for where, if this storm is tornadic, that's where it would be. So again, you're talking the northern part there of Wolfe County, north of Campton, but you are certainly included in that tornado warning. Murphy Fork, Daysboro, you folks need to be in shelter now. As you're ascending the mountains there, going through Slade, you're looking at another heavy storm in progress. Destructive severe thunderstorm warning is in place regardless, where you could see those hurricane-force wind gusts. But again, the most likely candidate at this point is north of Campton. So you're seeing that notching going in here. Remember how we had two different cells, two different lines that were sitting here? You'll notice that that has now merged into one. And so it's in that collision zone right there in eastern Kentucky, Morgan, Wolfe, Menifee counties, where again the most likely shear is taking place with all of this cell coming in. You have severe thunderstorm warnings extending all the way back into the I-75 corridor, Nicholasville back to the south side of Lexington, going out Tates Creek Road out towards Spears, getting it down toward Valley View, Nicholasville to Keene. Seeing that, you folks in Wilmore and High Bridge, the storms are just about on top of you as well. Down toward Berea, you've got a storm in progress, not severe at this point. You folks in Moorhead, the heaviest of the storms have passed to your south at this point, although it's still included in that destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Montgomery County, same idea. You're looking at severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, even though it's listed here as severe thunderstorm warning for Menifee County, and that also extends into Wolfe County there at Campton. That's going to be just north of the Mountain Parkway. The cells are passing the 460 corridor, West Liberty back to Frenchburg. So again, you're looking for these notches, and again, these are going to be quick spin-ups. But straight line winds away from those notches remain a possibility as well. And this is till 5:45, so this is maybe just a couple of more minutes here. You folks in Salyersville, you're at the edge of a severe thunderstorm warning, so McGoffin County there until 6 o'clock. But don't be surprised if that gets upgraded somewhere along the way here as well. That extends back into Johnson and Floyd counties. But from Menifee County to Wolfe County there in Campton down to the Mountain Parkway, strong thunderstorms in and around Stanton and Clay City. You are looking at those as well. They're pushing out of Montgomery County, although you're likely seeing very heavy rain and still may have some strong winds in and around Mount Sterling, Camargo to Jeffersonville. Continues back up to the I-64 corridor there in Owingsville. So again, for just a couple more minutes, so they're not going to get this warning out to display for you. The reason we're in the wall-to-wall here is that is actually a tornado warning for the southern part of Menifee, northern part of Wolf and part of Morgan counties as well until 5:45. Again, just checking to see if there's anything here. So near Stillwater is where when we're saying it's a proprietary thing that we're showing you here, the NextRads, the one in Jackson, that ingests a ton of data. And then there are some algorithms that some folks have that are able to take that data and produce some different products, more than what you would normally see. And so just along the Mountain Parkway there north of Campton, that red that you're seeing indicates that there's some strong shear taking place. And if this cell has a tornadic potential, that would be one of the most likely places to see. So again, you're even seeing a little bit of red mixing right in there. So it's not much, but again, that may be the signature of a very quick spin up that you're seeing there and back towards Stillwater. Hey, the tornado warning came out. So there we have it.
It's still until 5:45, but
yeah,
it's
so
now registered.
For another minute. Better late than never. Wolf County, Morgan County, Menifee County until 5:45. And again, don't be surprised if this is going to get extended down below the Mountain Parkway at this point. But we're getting really close to the radar. So there's the Jackson radar site right there. And so when even we're looking aloft at this, we're only going to be a few hundred feet up. And so there, the tornado warning went, as well as did the destructive tornado part. But again, just real quick, this is just going to be a few hundred feet up. You're getting an 80-mile-per-hour gust, not far off the surface. Again, from the Jackson site, you are, how many miles are we here? Yeah, we're only 10 miles out, so that's going to be just a few hundred feet off the surface. So some of that wind, obviously, on the hilltops there can very easily make it down to the surface. So again, destructive straight-line winds remain a possibility with this. But for the moment, the tornado warning and even the destructive severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to expire. I suspect we'll be back with you in a few minutes, but until that happens, we'll send it back to Larry and Evelyn.
All right, TG, appreciate that. Here's a look at some of the power outages we're seeing right now across Kentucky. A live look at poweroutages.us. Most of what we're seeing up north, but some are popping up there in eastern Kentucky. With more on what's going on weather-wise, let's get back to the weather wall and Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck.
Yeah, you can actually follow kind of in a diagonal line. There is about a 2-county-wide corridor that went through Robertson County and Harrison County, Nicholas and Bourbon, Bath County, Montgomery County, down toward Menifee. That's where the greatest power outages were, and that's where we've been the core of these winds have been pushing south. Your current warnings that are in place, and these are concentrated now. These are just thunderstorm warnings, although we go from the destructive severe thunderstorm warning. A tornado remains a possibility with this. So you're looking at that in Morgan County. That's going to include Magoffin County, Breathitt County as well until 6:15. Also the extreme eastern part of Wolf County. And now this has just been expanded. A very, very large severe thunderstorm, destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This just came out. So this is Menifee County. We'll just do them all here for you. Menifee, it's Powell County, it's Estill County, it's Wolf County, it's Lee County. You look down toward Owsley County, Breathitt County we already talked about, and these are going to be until 6:15. Jackson County also until 6:15. So what the Weather Service office in Jackson is doing on the leading edge of what we'll show you here on the radar in just a second, of this front that's coming through, this gust front, they are just broad brushing the potential for hurricane force winds. The potential is certainly there. And then so just be prepared. Treat that as you would really a tornado warning, because again, the potential for a hurricane force wind gust is there. You also have a severe thunderstorm warning until 6, and that's going to be for Fayette County, for Jessamine County. Madison County, we've had reports of some tree damage north of Richmond. So again, that's out there in Woodford County also until 6 o'clock. So those are your various warnings that are in place. Severe thunderstorm watch extends on up into Indiana. You can see it covers the 127 corridor and east through Kentucky. So it does include Lexington, obviously, and that's until 8 o'clock. So the max track's going to take a second here to populate in, but you can see the lightning ongoing. This is kind of just a mess at this point. So we'll show you, just take you on a quick tour through here. So you go from storms that are just north of Harrodsburg, Salvisa to McAfee, back toward Lawrenceburg, southern Woodford County there around Nonsuch. You folks in Jessamine County from Keene to Nicholasville to Wilmore, take it out toward Union Mills, Spears in southern Fayette County, County. You get into Clark County there to the south and southwest of Winchester. Down toward Richmond, you folks in Berea, southern Garrett County have a strong storm in progress. Then this line, where the entire line is warned for destructive severe thunderstorm warning from Irvin to Stanton, south of Stanton, just to the northern part there of Lee County, just about to Campton there along the Mountain Parkway, arc that on towards Salyersville. This is all pushing south and doing so quickly, so stay weather aware. Severe storms and flood threats not only now, tonight, tomorrow, going on into Thursday and Friday potentially. So it is an active week in store. So on the Max Track region, we'll take you back to 4 in the morning. The stuff that's coming through now, that's it. So out there by Sioux City, Iowa, comes across Iowa, and then all of a sudden, bam, it starts producing a swath of severe weather that came all the way across Illinois, Indiana, and now into Kentucky. That is covering a lot of real estate. So what we're talking about with this point, you have got about 500 and some miles of severe weather from this. This is coming under the category of what we call a derecho. So what that is, it's a long-tracked severe weather event. More than 250 miles, so we've doubled that. Wind gusts along a damage path of at least 58, but there are also hurricane-force wind gusts, which we have seen. And so as we watched the day develop, it was on an outflow from storms that had come through earlier. There was your enhanced risk that continues. The high wind risk is coming to fruition. So again, the folks at the Storm Prediction Center did a great job with this, with the hurricane-force winds. Now, the other thing, haven't talked about as much, the flooding rain potential, both today, tonight, and into tomorrow. So again, flood-prone areas, be aware. You're looking at basin averages 1, 2, maybe 3 inches. There are going to be pockets that pick up significantly more than that, so flooding is a very big concern for us. So with all that, your forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy, thunderstorms, heavy rain, severe storms possible. We'll be in the low 70s overnight. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, thunderstorms return. There is a strong storm risk once again. Highs will be upper 80s, pushing 90 in a muggy day. Your 8-day forecast, upper 80s Thursday, mid 80s on Friday, small storm chance on Saturday, hot and dry on Sunday.
Here's what's on LEX 18 tonight. Sponsored by Wawa. Count on LEX News.
Good evening to you. As we approach 6, we begin with severe weather this evening.
Yeah, it's been a very busy afternoon already. If you're just joining us, be sure to sit back and take in what we have to tell you right now. Several updates to get to in the Weather Center. Let's go right to the weather wall. Chief Meteorologist Bill Mack with the very latest.
Some folks are still waiting for the storms to come through. Other folks are cleaning up after these storms have come through. So with all that, you see a couple of areas of warnings that we are talking about here. So the first area, we'll just take you from west to east. Severe thunderstorm warning, and these will be expiring now for Woodford, Jessamine, Fayette, and Madison. So again, those are expiring here at 6 o'clock. Estill County, 6:15. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Powell, Menifee, Wolfe counties. You take that down into the eastern Jackson, Owsley, Lee, Breathitt counties, as well as Magoffin County. These are destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. That means these storms have hurricane force wind potential in them. So think of it as an EF0, low-end EF1 tornado potential, except it's a straight line. So again, that's all here. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock. Highway 127, the corridor, and west. Excuse me. And east for that. So again, that is your severe thunderstorm watch. So again, a fairly messy look here on the Max Track. We'll try and, as we zoom in, you can kind of see things a little more clearly. Heavy rain, northern Mercer, Woodford County, Jessamine County, Madison County, into Clark County. Where these storms are still potentially severe, Estill. So again, it's Irvin and Ravenna, and then now from there south. Still north of Beattyville there in Lee County. You folks in Powell County, from the Mountain Parkway southward, heavy rain, strong wind potential is there. That continues on over toward Campton. Then you get into Breathitt County and Magoffin County. Heavy rain and wind, severe thunderstorm warnings continue. So again, the high wind risk has come to fruition today. And again, that chance for hurricane force winds was there. The other thing we haven't talked about much, flood watch through tomorrow morning covers the northeastern half of the area. Torrential rain from these storms as well. So again, there's lots to take in. Stay weather aware. More updates as needed. lead-in and the main weather segment, we'll talk about this in more detail.
Bill, thanks so much for that.
Which is what I'm after.
And as southeastern Kentucky.
All right, well, they're talking about the tornado damage from a year and a half ago. There are issues right now with the Weather Service office in Jackson. They have lost power, so they actually just sent out a message to the media that a tornado warning is now up for Breathitt County and going into the northwestern part of Perry County. So what they are saying is that they're in Jackson, they're up on a hilltop outside of town, but what they're saying is there is a potential tornado developing very close to Jackson itself, and that is going to then get into the northern part of Perry County. So consider this a tornado warning. It's what now, 6:05. So figure it's probably a tornado warning until 6:30. But again, it's not going to be plotting out here because they are having communication issues out of the Jackson National Weather Service office up there on the hilltop out at the Julian Carroll Airport. So again, Breathitt County down into northern Perry County. Again, what we're showing you on this is the potential here of a developing tornado. So that little donut you see right there, that is the radar at Jackson, at the Julian Carroll Airport. By the way, if you've ever seen the movie Twister, when Philip Seymour Hoffman says the cone of silence, that's what they're talking about. But regardless of that, you are seeing, again, the leading edge of this is where you have the potential of the developing tornado, but it's in so close to the radar here, it's hard to pick out anything. But again, this is from the Weather Service office specifically saying, media, please alert Breathitt County and northern Perry County that we've got a potential tornado developing right around Jackson, right around the community of Jackson. So again, this is where we're looking at right now. It's listed as a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. But again, did they say a time on that tornado warning?
They haven't said anything.
Okay. Okay, so again, the Weather Service office in Wilmington, Ohio is trying to assist the Weather Service office here in Jackson. And so what we want to tell you is that they're saying that a potential tornado is developing in or near the community of Jackson there in Breathitt County. Again, when it's right on top of the radar like that, tough to pick anything specific out. So again, we're not seeing necessarily what they were asking, but again, we need to relay that information to you. So again, if you're anywhere from between Hazard and Jackson, north of the Hal Rogers, on up there toward Jackson, you need to be in your safe spot, and you need to be there now because, again, even though it's not plotting out here, there is a tornado warning in Breathitt County and Perry County. And again, they're not, I'm going to hypothesize a time, say 6:30. For this. So again, for a storm that continues pressing south, and it's one that has had a history of wind damage with it. Again, the Weather Service office in Jackson has lost power, and so they are kind of dead in the water, and they're being assisted by the Weather Service office in Wilmington, Ohio. So this is the area now, even though it doesn't show much going on there. That is where we are talking about this as a potential tornado. So again, you're seeing the gust front coming out ahead of it, but that's it. The radar display, again, not showing you much. Even, we were not seeing the notching even that we were seeing on some of the other cells when it was further to the north and west of here. So Flintville and Watts, Ned, Decoy, you guys need to be in shelter with this. Nothing else has come out there, Abby?
Nope, nothing yet.
All right. This is a unique situation.
Maybe 6:30 potentially.
6:30
is what I just heard.
That's all he says, potentially 6:30?
Yes, I think I just heard that in my ear.
Okay, so again, we're piecing together data here for you as best we can. So between Hazard and Jackson here is where we would be looking at that potential. So again, you're seeing some of the communities where you guys need to be in shelter now. So it's labeled here as a severe thunderstorm warning, but again, the Weather Service office in Jackson has not been able to get the coding and get the information out through the various outlets to get the warning to plot out on our map here. So it's literally word of mouth from them to us, to you, to get that information out that this is a tornado warning in and around Breathitt County, and then into Perry County. So again, 6:15 for that destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Figure 6:30 with the tornado warning down into northern Perry County as well. Cell has a history of damaging wind gusts. Abby, can you on your system go ahead and put the power outage map back up?
Yes.
That'll be a nice way to just show you how all this has taken place. And we'll get to that here in just a second. So this line is continuing to press southward. We have, outside of that tornado warning, we have what's called a destructive severe thunderstorm warning that's for Owsley, for Breathitt, for Lee County, for Wolfe County, over toward Powell County, Estill County as well. You also put the eastern part of Jackson County and the northern part of Clay County in that destructive tornado for winds of hurricane force. So go ahead and flip it over to your source there, Abby, real quick.
Okay, I'm getting some numbers on here.
All right. So you can trace the path of what this line has done over the last couple of hours as it's worked its way from the Cincinnati metro down now into eastern and southeastern Kentucky, central Kentucky. We are looking, you look up there toward northern Kentucky there, you are looking and then around the Cincinnati area. So again, that's is a major power loss. 6,500 folks without power now in Powell County. So you take that corridor from Cincinnati along and just east of 75 through Harrison and Bourbon counties, arc that then through Montgomery on to the south, where you're seeing again at least 1,000 folks in some of these places without power as this line has continued pressing to the south. Even through parts of Fayette County, we've got some power outages as well. You see also up in the Indianapolis metro some of that going on. You can flip it back over. Thank you. So this is well, likely a derecho that has been dropping southward through the course of this afternoon. We'll talk more about that when we have an opportunity away from the severe weather events. So again, the reason why we're in wall-to-wall here, even though we're showing just the flashing tan icons, is that the Weather Service office in Jackson has said that they saw a developing tornado near Jackson there in Breathitt County. And so they are having communication issues, and then they told us to tell you that there is a tornado warning. We'll take it till 6:30 between Jackson and Hazard. So that, for you folks in Hazard, you guys need to be getting to your shelter. You folks in northern Perry County, you need to be getting to shelter now as these storms continue pressing to the south. We always talk about sea duck, and it's an easy way to basically give yourself the best case if the worst happens, if a tornado hits your house. If you close the interior doors and compartmentalize everything, that gives your house a better chance to survive a direct hit. By compartmentalizing and not letting the wind blow all the way through and able to lift the roof up, that gives your house a better chance at survival, giving you a better chance at survival in the worst case scenario. You want to be downstairs. You want to be under something big, heavy, sturdy. You want to be down in the basement, under a staircase. If you have a staircase that goes down to the basement, that's one of the better places you can be, because staircases are strong. That's why we say get under something big, heavy, and sturdy. Lowest level you can, the center part of your house, and then keep away from windows and doors, sources of flying glass. So again, it's not shown here on the graphic. If you can just go ahead and send them a message, Abby.
Yes.
Double check with them how long they want us to keep going with this.
Okay.
To see if they still want to continue this warning. So again, the storms are pushing south of Jackson. They're on their way into the northern part of Perry County at this point. So you still have strong winds, heavy rain, Campton, back to Beattyville, Heidelberg, Irvin, Ravenna, down into Jackson County. They're along 421 between McKee and the northern part of the county line there toward Madison County. Boonville, you guys are in right now, likely have that gust front coming right through there. So again, strong winds may be out preceding that main batch of rain that you see. Bottom line is this continues to be a dangerous situation. Histories of damage with this line all the way well, from Chicago to here. So this is the continuation of this thunderstorm complex. The warnings in the I-75 corridor and west, those have been allowed to expire, but you still have very heavy rain from Richmond to Nicholasville over toward Harrodsburg. That continues back to Lawrenceburg and Frankfurt. That will, again, continue for a while. We're going to watch this line continue pressing southward. You folks, I-75 corridor, no warnings right now. Heavy rain, though, between Berea and Mount Vernon. So, again, I-75 there may be on a slowdown.
This tour is going to expire at 6:30.
But they are continuing the warning.
Yes.
They have no other information.
Nothing, not the moment. Just that it's going till 6:30.
Okay. So 15 more minutes. Again, this is not shown, but it is a tornado warning for Breathitt County, and then we would throw Perry County into that warning as well. So from Hazard to Jackson, you are looking at a tornado warning. So we'll see if we're seeing anything better on the radar products, even though this is basically on top of the radar. So again, this is showing there's, these are your storm relatives. This straight velocity. So you've got your gust front certainly out ahead of it. So those red winds are moving away from the radar site, which is sitting right there. The bright reds, and keep in mind, this is going to be just off the surface because, again, we're so close to the radar. And so let's see if we're not, there we go. So on the leading edge of that, you're picking up 50-mile-an-hour winds. Well, I hit a bad pixel there. 48-mile-per-hour winds on the toward Floyd County out that way, 40-mile-per-hour winds. So again, we're right at severe weather threshold on that, which is surprising that they would be. Again, we're seeing not the strongest of winds on that, and again, that's close to the radar. So this is going to be not far off the surface. Looks like a new warning might have been just issued as well.
Yes, it's a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, so a severe thunderstorm warning to the east. That's going to include, that's a destructive one. Knott County, you throw in McGoffin County.
Breathitt, Floyd,
Breathitt, yeah.
Knott, McGoffin, Martin, Morgan, Pike, tornado possible.
So yeah, so the same idea, same storm, same complex of storms as it has progressed southward. So Campton to Jackson, you guys have the transition in the winds there. You've got the heavy rain ongoing. We bring the radar back up. So that line has now been issued for that destructive severe thunderstorm warning. They were able to get that out, but again, our tornado warning, let's just draw it on here, make it easier. So again, the warning that they have issued is Hazard to Jackson. So that approximate line, and again, that's until 6:30 that we're looking at that. Again, we're not seeing a whole lot out of it, but we're looking kind of at the same things they are. But that being said, they are the ones looking literally at the clouds. They are on the hilltop there at the Julian Carroll Airport looking at these clouds and saying, okay, we see this potential development here. And so Flintville, Engle, Manuel, Erie, over toward Airport Gardens, north of Hazard there, be in safe shelter at this point. Again, we're just not, there's nothing here indicating that even a spin potential, but the warning is there. So you're seeing again that leading edge of the gust front near Erie, over toward Engle. That is where you're going to see the strongest of the winds. That's ahead of the heaviest of the rain. So the gust front has moved out ahead. You folks in Hazard, over toward Hyden there in Leslie County, you've got thunderstorms in progress, but these, at this point, those are sub-severe. You folks around Noble, back to Clayhole and Ned, Wells Fork, Decoy, Harveyton, again, be in your safe spots. We don't want severe thunderstorm warning for Mingo County in West Virginia. So let's clear that out. But again, all I can tell you is at this point that the Weather Service office in Jackson has a tornado warning up for southern Breathitt County and the northern part of Perry County, and information they wanted us to relay to you.
Nothing yet.
Nothing new. Go ahead and ask them if they wanted to continue this, or if they, or at least detail what they're seeing. So you've got that destructive severe thunderstorm warning off just to the east of this. So it's now beginning to pull away from the radar site in Jackson. So maybe we can get a little better look at it. Maybe we're on Watts and Ned there. There could be a little bit of notching going on. that is about the only candidate I would see coming out of this at this point. But again, I don't want to second guess their warning that has come out. Let's just try and get some clarification. So again, there's the radar site there at the Julian Carroll Airport. You're getting now toward the northern part of Perry County, the southern tip there of Breathitt County between Clayhole and Ned. So that is the place that we are looking for this. And again, this is a tornado warning issued by the Weather Service office in Jackson. Yeah, they may have visual confirmation on something that is not necessarily showing up on the radar display. So, nothing?
No, I think they're trying to get back to me. I've sent that.
Okay. All righty. So, we will continue with this here. And again, for folks in northern Perry County, southern Breathitt County, this is a tornado warning that was relayed from the Weather Service office in Wilmington, Ohio. And so again, with a tornado warning, we are in continuous coverage. Anytime our county and our viewing area is, they put out a new severe thunderstorm warning. So that new severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. So again, things are a little backed up here, it looks like, and not until 6:30. But again, no sign of the tornado warning. So they're doing the best they can. But again, the radar display is not definitive on this at all. Not even like it was when it was further to the north. I'm telling you what I see, and nothing on the velocity, nothing on the storm relatives that would indicate that you've got a little rotation, maybe some broad rotation out there toward Hindman, where you've got some reds and greens near each other. But again, the radar display here is not showing much. That said, we're looking for rotation because there's a tornado warning. There has been a destructive severe thunderstorm warning out on that, so you're still talking winds that could be in excess of 70 miles per hour. And on the high terrain, when you get in those hills, it's much easier for a 70 mile per hour wind to loft to get on a 1,500-foot hill than it is to get down in the valley. So you need to take this with that level of concern. So again, we're talking the destructive severe thunderstorm potential in Breathitt County as well as Perry County until 6:30. That's the best way I can describe it for you, with absence of any other data coming in.
I would say I think they're trying to get back up. The Weather Forecast Office out of Springfield, Missouri is now issuing warnings for
Springfield,
Jackson.
Missouri?
Yes, and then they responded for that tornado warning. The threat should be diminished there at this point. Outflow has undercut it for the warning in Perry and Breathitt, so I feel like they're trying to get these warnings and stuff updated. Okay,
if they're talking about the outflow undercutting, then that would eliminate the storm threat. And with that, I'm going to look over. Larry, you guys ready to finish up?
Whatever you need to do.
Okay. Until we hear differently on this, so yeah, you folks in back, be ready. Know that at least the potential is there. We're watching this entire line continuing to press southward. Breathitt and Perry counties, again, we are looking at the potential. Stay in shelter till 6:30. We aren't seeing much there. Jackson is doing the best they can to try and get that information out. But again, if the information we're getting is that the outflow has undercut the storm, then that would eliminate the tornadic threat, or at least the really drastically reduce it. But between, say, Jackson and Hazard, be in shelter here for the next few minutes. And with that, I know there's a little bit more news to get to here, and we'll send it back over to Larry and Evelyn. Okay.
Bill, thanks so much again. We know how much hard this is trying to get through with the power outage over in Jackson, but you and Abby doing a great job of keeping us safe with information. We appreciate that. We'll check in a few minutes.
All right, quick updates for you. We have severe weather ongoing across southeastern Kentucky. We'll get that in more detail in just a second. On the big picture here, you'll notice between Indianapolis and Terre Haute, there is another cluster of strong and severe thunderstorms. It looks like there's going to be a new severe thunderstorm watch issued that'll probably be on the western flank of the one that we currently have running through central and southeastern Kentucky. So that'll be coming out probably in the next few minutes. So we'll be keeping an eye on that for that cluster as it comes to the south and southeast. On the Max Track Live live, you are looking at a lot of lightning showing up there. Also numerous warnings in southeastern Kentucky. The potential for hurricane-force winds continues with some of these storms. Leading edge is now running, say, just north of Mount Vernon to about, I'll say, McKee, over toward Beattyville to Breathitt County there in Jackson, pressing southeastward. So again, severe thunderstorm warnings are in place for those.
You've been warning us it's coming. Thanks for your good work today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. National News is next.
Tonight, a U.S. official telling NBC News that Cabinet Secretaries Marco Rubio.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck, we have new severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued. We are looking at severe thunderstorm warnings for Rockcastle County until 7:15, Laurel County until 7:15, Jackson County until 7:15, Southern Estill till 7:15, Owsley until 7. We've got Clay County until 7, Perry County until 7, Breathitt County until 7, Wolfe County till 7, as well as Lee County until 7 o'clock. That line of severe thunderstorms is capable of wind gusts between 60 and 70 miles per hour that stretches from near Mount Vernon and Roundstone through McKee and then continues on toward Boonville and Jackson. Stay weather aware. Areas of heavy rain continue from Richmond to Nicholasville to Versailles. That's all pushing south onto Harrodsburg and Danville. Stay with LEX News for the latest weather information.
We're back now with video of a remarkable.
Meteorologist Abby Summers here in the Storm Tracker Weather Center. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for parts of the southeastern parts of Kentucky, and this includes places like Perry County, Knott County, Leslie County, and we also have Clay County that's been embedded in this severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. We're continuing to see lots of heavy rainfall, gusty winds associated in this severe thunderstorm warning, and this severe thunderstorm warning is until, if we can get a click of this here, this is going to be until let's see, we're not getting it to click there, but we're expecting this to stick with us for at least probably another 30-45 minutes. Gusty winds associated with this as well. Lots of rainfall. So if you're in this severe thunderstorm warning, make sure you're staying weather aware, and we'll have more updates as they come out available.
Okay, that does it for us tonight. And a programming note for tomorrow. There's an eclipse happening, so make sure to join News Now Daily and Nightly News for coverage of the total eclipse. That's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I'm Tom Yamas. We thank you so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
Coming up on Evening Edition.
Senator Rand Paul talks about Senator Mitch McConnell's absence from the U.S. Senate. He says September could be a key month.
Plus,
I'm your Round County reporter, Alex Barber, and the first day of school is now in the books. Coming up, I'll tell you what I learned when I made a stop at a Moorhead Elementary School and how they are challenging students to level up this year.
And it's the oldest row house west of the Allegheny Mountains. Coming up in our spotlight on Mercer County, how people in Harrodsburg are keeping more than 200 years of history alive.
It is the oldest settlement in Kentucky, founded before even the United States were founded.
Evening Edition starts now. Good evening to you. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Evelyn Schultz.
And I'm Larry Smith. Boy, it has been a busy evening with severe storms popping up everywhere.
Let's get right to meteorologist Abby Summers. She joins us now with the latest.
Yeah, it's been a very active evening. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, destructive tornado warnings. We've seen it all this afternoon and evening as that line of that cluster of showers and storms pushed its way through our area this afternoon and evening. So here's a look at Max Track. We've got a lot going on. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, even that destructive severe thunderstorm warning there into places like in Pike County, including Pikeville in there, and as well. We have that next little cluster into parts of Indiana that we're watching. That's expected to move its way towards our area as we go throughout the next couple of hours. We're going to zoom in just a little bit into these severe thunderstorm warnings, anywhere from about Somerset, Pulaski County, all the way to the Kentucky West Virginia, Kentucky state line. You're under pretty much a severe thunderstorm warning. This one that includes places like Rockcastle County, Laurel County, just clipping parts of northeastern Pulaski County, just up to London. We have that warning there, and that is until not wanting to work for me there. But we have lots of severe thunderstorm warnings that's continuing to work its way towards the south as we go throughout the rest of this evening. Now we're going to take a look at the satellite and radar, if that'll move on for me there. Severe satellite and radar continuing to have multiple severe thunderstorm watches across the area as these clusters of showers and storms continuing to work their way through the area as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. Here's a look at that severe thunderstorm watch for parts, most of the viewing area. It doesn't include places like Pulaski County, Whitley County, Wayne County, not included in this, but for the rest of us, we're under that severe thunderstorm watch. This is until 8 p.m. this evening, so the ingredients are still there to see potentially a few more stronger to severe storms push their way through. We also have that flood watch. That's in effect until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Places like the Bluegrass and off to the east included in that flood watch until tomorrow morning. So we have a lot of active weather still to go as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. I'll have more details on all that coming up in just a few minutes.
Abby, thank you. And remember, you can stay weather aware all night long with our Storm Tracker Weather app. It's free and available on all app stores.
And we want to see what you are seeing outside your window. Send us any video or photos. Please do so safely to the link on your screen, LEX18.com/capture. Really enjoyed getting to know Abby during the 4th of July parade, but I've never seen you so intense as you were tonight. You were really watching all the information. We appreciate all the work you guys have been doing all night for us.
Yeah, we're trying to keep everyone aware. We have a lot going on. We've seen a lot this afternoon and evening, and we're going to continue to see more as we go throughout the rest of this evening. We do have more severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued over the past few minutes. This includes parts of Casey and Lincoln counties. This is until 7:30 for the new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for there. And then for places like Pulaski County, northern McCreary County, Whitley County, Laurel County, Clay County, Jackson County, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued there. This is until 8:30. And then places like Leslie County, Perry County, Clay County, also Knott County under a severe thunderstorm warning. And this is until 7:45 p.m. this evening. So over the next 30 to 45 minutes, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings for mainly the most severe part of this at the moment is the parts of southeastern Kentucky where I'm at the moment. So continuing to stay weather aware as we go throughout the rest of this evening, as we're still expecting some more rounds to push their way in. And here's a look at satellite and radar. We've had a pretty active afternoon and evening. A lot of severe thunderstorm watch from places like Indiana, Ohio, into Kentucky, parts of Virginia and West Virginia. And we're still watching more rounds of showers and storms potentially working their way in as we go throughout the next few hours. So here's a look at that severe thunderstorm watch. This is until 8 p.m. this evening for most of the viewing area. Places like Pulaski County and McCreary County and off into the south and west, not under that severe thunderstorm watch at the time being, but we still over the next 30-45 minutes still a chance of seeing some more of those stronger to severe storms pushing their way through. And we still highlighted in that level 3 out of 5 that enhanced risk for some stronger storms. It still includes parts of the northern Kentucky, the Bluegrass, and off into the east just a little bit. That level 2 further south, places like Somerset, Danville, Hazard included in that, and then extreme southwestern parts of the viewing area highlighted in that level 1 marginal risk. So still watching for the chance of those strong severe storms this evening, and still got that flash flooding risk into our area. So northern Kentucky, places like Cynthiana, Moorhead, and that level 3 out of 4, that moderate risk for some flash flooding as we go throughout the rest of today, tonight. Lexington, Danville, Hazard, Somerset under that level 2 out of 4, that slight, and then eventually that marginal for the rest of southern Kentucky. So we're still watching that flash flooding risk, and we still have that wind risk for this evening. A lot of us, Lexington, Richmond, Mount Sterling, in that 30% chance of seeing a wind gust 58 plus within 25 miles per hour of your current location. So gusty winds, we've seen it this afternoon and evening. Wind gusts is as high as 81 miles per hour, I think, there in Harrison County. So definitely some gusty winds out there this afternoon and evening, and we're still going to have that slight marginal risk for some stronger to severe storms for tomorrow, and then that flash flooding risk still sticking with us, that level 2 out of 4 for tomorrow as well. For that reason, flood watch sticking with us through tomorrow morning. This is until 8 a.m. for the bluegrass all the way down to places like Pulaski County, Wayne County, Whitley County, and this is sticking with us off to the east until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So still watching for that flash flooding risk, because we could see anywhere from about a ½ inch of rain all the way to 2.5 plus, and this is on top of what we've seen already today, and this is going to be as we go throughout the next couple of days. So we're still seeing lots of rainfall as we go throughout the rest of this evening and into the rest of this week. So here's a look at Tuesday evening going overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, continuing to watch for more rounds of some showers and storms pushing their way through the area. Lots of rainfall, gusty winds associated with this. We're still continuing to watch this as we go into your Wednesday. Another round looking to work its way in Wednesday evening, and this is going to continue with us into Thursday. So we've got multiple rounds of some showers, storms still continuing to work their way in as we go throughout the next couple of days, and you can see that on the 8-day forecast. Rain chances sticking with us through Friday and even into Saturday. Got that isolated storm chance, but as we get towards next week, hopefully some improvement for your Sunday. Watch it for Monday, but then after that, hopefully some improvement there. Let's get one last check of the Max Track radar. We have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings still sticking with us for parts of southeastern Kentucky, places like Lincoln County, Casey County, Pulaski County, Perry counties, often in between those two areas. That's sticking with us through about 8 p.m. this evening for the rest of us, and we still have that severe thunderstorm watch sticking with us as well till 8 p.m. So keep in mind, stay weather aware.
Okay.
Abby, thank you, and thank you for watching Evening Edition.
Have a good night.
Next play mentality.
This is Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck. We are looking at the severe thunderstorm watch that's in place across the area, but new severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued. These are for our southern tier of counties, so we're taking this down to the Tennessee line. The new severe thunderstorm warnings are for Wayne County until 8:45, Pulaski County until 8:45, McCreary until 8:45. You've got Whitley until 8:45, Laurel, Knox, Bell, Harlan, Southern Clay, Southern Leslie, all until 8:45. Those are the new severe thunderstorm warnings. More thunderstorms are sitting to our north and west. Locally heavy rain will become the primary severe weather threat from those as they continue south and east. But again, we'll continue to monitor southern Kentucky to Lake Cumberland, Laurel Lake areas for the potential of severe thunderstorms. And it looks like a flash flood warning has just been issued for Casey County until 10:45. Keep it here on LEX News. We'll keep you informed through the rest of this evening.
Basketball news of the day.